What is going on, everyone? It is Lance Muser, aka Arrow Knight, and we are here with another news video. We're trying to do some news videos here and there, just to kind of see what we think, how it goes, and we hope you guys are enjoying it. Of course, last week we talked about PlayStation Plus. It may not even been a full week ago. We're not real sure. We're just kind of hanging out, doing some news videos, seeing what we think, and not real sure when we'll release them, how often, but just giving it a go and seeing what you guys think. And it's also just, we're keeping up with gaming news and just something we keep up with. So hey, why not talk about it a little bit? So with that said, we've got a few things lined up this week, just kind of top news stories of the week that we followed and kind of picked out and that stood out to us. We did tweet out, as you can see here, and we may continue to do this, just to kind of get your feedback on your top news story of the week. We've got a couple little snippets in here. Breath of the Wild Suicide game being delayed, but we're going to talk about those today. And of course, drop comments below. Let us know if we missed any news or anything that you thought was important, or your top news story of the week. So just like I said, drop a comment below for us, and we'd love to chat about it. So with that said, let's jump right in. The first on the list for us here is the Breath of the Wild 2 announcement of a delay here. So we get an official video from Nintendo. We'll listen to this a little bit. We don't have to listen to the whole thing, but they dropped on March 29th that Breath of the Wild sequel will be hitting a delay at least until going into 2023. So let's take a look at this just a little bit here, and then we'll take a look at this article and move on to the next thing.
こんにちは。ゼルダの伝説シリーズプロデューサーの青沼です。ゼルダの伝説ブレスオブザワイルド続編の発売時期に関してお知らせがあります。本作は2022年に発売を予定しているとお伝えしていましたが、開発にもう少しお時間をいただきたく、発売を2023年春に変更させていただきたいと思います。楽しみにお待ちいただいている皆様、大変申し訳ありません。続編の舞台
So, it's one of those things. I mean, game delays, we're used to them, right? I mean, that's about as official as it gets, huh? They just kind of release straight up video, minute and a half long, saying, hey, we're going to at least push this out to spring 2023. So, I don't know. At least it's straight up like this, direct, and just, hey, we're going to take some more time to develop this. Breath of the Wild is one of those games. Any game really. We'll all wait until we get to play that game. So, delays. It's one of those things, it's like you don't want it to be pushed out too far, but at the same time, it's not like there's not plenty to play. So, anyways, that is that. There is an article over here I did want to take a look at on VGC. Nintendo shares drop 6% following Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 delay. So, pretty standard stuff. It's not exactly good news. Nintendo share fell 6% in Tokyo trading on Wednesday on the back of the news that Breath of the Wild has been delayed. The platform holder announced on Tuesday night that the highly anticipated sequel will be spring 2023. Nintendo shares have gained 25% year to date prior to this slump. So, anyways, kind of expected in the stock world. So that is that. What do you guys think about Breath of the Wild getting delayed? Do you have plenty to play? I'm thinking maybe you might I don't know, there's just this February, obviously we're into April now, but it was crazy how much released January, February. I think we might be going on a little bit of a, I won't say dry spell, but a little less of a AAA release here for a little bit. But we got Star Wars, Lego Star Wars coming out here this month, so it's not like things still aren't coming out. But with that said, what do you think? You looking forward to Breath of the Wild 2? Of course we are. Can't wait to play it. But hey, we'll move on to the next thing. We're going to continue the theme of delays. We are also we did get an announcement, and this actually might have been before our last news video, but we got a tweet here from Sefton Hill, which is the, I believe, creative director and co-founder at Rocksteady. So he tweeted out, they've made a difficult decision to delay Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League to spring 2023 also. It seems like they're kind of pushing out of that, that fall 2022 zone. I know a delay is frustrating, but that time is going into making the best sequel we can. I look forward to bringing the chaos to Metropolis together. Thanks for the update. So they got this little kind of funny GIF here. I mark it out and put 2023. So again, and I get this game confused. I did want to bring this up. I get this game confused with Gotham Knights, So this game is actually, I believe, being developed by WB Montreal, whereas this, of course, is Rocksteady. But you got to obviously do a little research to keep that stuff straight and who's working on what and what teams are working together. But this one, I believe, is still slated as of right now for an October 2022 release date. So it would make sense to me. Like I said, I was getting these two games kind of confused a little bit. It would make sense to me, they don't want to crowd it too much. So, release Gotham Knights and then throw Suicide Squad into the next year. I will say, I was listening to some podcasts I listened to. I didn't realize Rocksteady hadn't released a game in many years at this point after the Arkham games. So, it's been a while they've been working on this game. But, hey, we'll hopefully see it when it comes out, and I'm sure it'll be great with their track record. But I'm looking forward to this as well. Like I said, Gotham Knights. I don't know, are you guys looking forward to both of these games? They're kind of somewhat themed the same. Different, obviously, but just similar in the universe and such. But looking forward to both of these. So let's move on from delays. The next thing up is kind of an article about Xbox Game Pass. Just a quick article I saw this week, and we were talking about it. So we have, of course, Xbox Game Pass, and we're always trying to figure out, balance it with multiple users in the house. But it looks like Xbox Game Pass Family Plan could possibly be coming soon. This is, of course, according to VGC, Jordan Midler here. Windows Central says its sources claim the plan will allow multiple users, one household, to access the service in a similar fashion as Spotify and Nintendo Switch's online family plans. According to trusted sources familiar with Microsoft efforts, we can now confirm that Xbox is moving ahead with an Xbox Game Pass family plan, which should be set to release or launch, sometime this year. There's no specific launch window that's been given yet. So the site claims that the highest tier of the plan will provide access for 5 players. The report doesn't make clear whether PC Game Pass or Xbox Game Pass will be covered by separate family plans or if there will be an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate family plan. Pricing is also currently unknown. So they do say here, and I do remember kind of seeing some of these specific numbers, but Microsoft recently revealed that it had paid developers and publishers hundreds of millions of dollars in Game Pass license fees. So, last week, or at least within the last week, we talked about PlayStation Plus's revamp. But, it'd be nice to see an Xbox Game Pass family plan. Right now, you kind of have to do that thing where you set your home console, and then you've got, like, we've got a Series X and a Xbox One, and we've got 2 Xbox Ones. Only one of them's hooked up at the moment. We've got the OG and then the newer digital one, and the digital one's hooked up, and then we got the Series X hooked up. You gotta, I've looked up the video a couple different times. You gotta set the home console, and then it's still kind of trickery to have a couple different accounts that get the Xbox Game Pass benefits. So a family plan would be nice. Hopefully it's not too crazy more expensive for a tier of that nature. So we'll see. Now, what do you guys think? Anyways, obviously, do you have Game Pass? And is a family plan something you'd be interested in? So we'll see if we get some sort of announcement here soon regarding that, an official announcement, at least from Xbox. Next up, we're going to kind of continue the Xbox theme. Saw this article this week I didn't realize, so we played Halo when it came out, and it was fun. I mean, it seemed like, initially Halo was getting some good feedback from consumers and players, especially the multiplayer. They dropped the beta, I believe. It wasn't the beta, they dropped multiplayer early, right? I think is what the case was. But apparently, I mean, I wasn't super following it, but apparently the community hasn't been too thrilled. I have heard some of that in rumblings, not too long after it launched. But just to kind of read through this to give you an idea, if you're not familiar, a member of the Halo Infinite development team has acknowledged that the game's community is out of patience at the studio's perceived lack of activity and communication. Communication director Brian Sketch Gerard posted a reply to a Reddit user, said they wish 343 Industries would acknowledge that there have been issues that are delaying progress on new features for the game. There are indeed a lot of changes and constraints, he posted in response on Reddit. We're certainly not happy to be unable to meet player and community expectations. It's a difficult situation that's going to take the team time to work through. Right now, the focus is on Season 2, and we'll have more to share on that in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, a lot of production planning, remember doing that when I read it first, production planning, costing, planning, hiring, etc. is all happening, which doesn't really lend to detailed regular updates. We understand the community is simply out of patience and frankly, I think understandably tired of words. We just need some time for the team to get details sorted out, and then we can certainly share as much as we can. So goes on to say, his response was mainly negative on the reply on Reddit. Some of these users, it just seems like the community's not thrilled. I mean, they're not apparently getting support. They're not getting updates as far as even, obviously they're getting, some word updates from the developers, but maybe not even much there. If you're playing Halo, we're curious, just if you've been playing it since launch, what the experience has been like. They say down here, and I had heard this, Halo Infinite's multiplayer launched last December without Forge mode. And Forge is, they talk about it here. Forge is always a super popular mode. So you're talking this game launched in December, it's April, and that community still hasn't even gotten Forge mode. So understandably, these games that release and it seems like their plan just isn't in place. In a game like Halo, right? Again, it seemed like it was had a positive response when it launched, but obviously, many things have happened since then, and you would think the team in Halo, at the level that Halo is, they would have their content plan in place. You just wonder what's going on behind the scenes for them to just not be ready to dish out content and updates to the players. So, with that said, hopefully they get it back on track, and the community, can get some updates they want, some feedback, and ultimately the content that they want. With that said, let's move on. Next up, we're going to talk about. We do have one more article here, and then we're going to talk about some actual. Look at some game trailers and a release that came out this week. This is the last one. I did see this, and I almost had forgotten about it until I saw some creators that I follow. So Grand Theft Auto, as we know, I think I've bought a couple copies of this. Bought it back on, I had to look this up actually. I bought it back on 360. And then not too long after, bought the next gen version, I believe, on, is that right? See, I'm questioning myself again. I had to look this up. Bought it on PS4, and then now recently they have released it on current gen. I said next gen. That was next gen back then. Now next gen / current gen PS5 Series X. They've released versions of GTA 5, which the game is excellent, and they have continued to update online, so take that for what it is. If you're enjoying the game, if there wasn't so many games to play, I would probably still be playing GTA, but they've introduced what they're calling GTA Plus for GTA Online, and GTA Online's been around since almost, I think, right when or not too long after the launch of this game. So it's a new player membership delivering exclusive benefits and more now available. So GTA Plus is a new membership program exclusively for GTA Online, PS5, and Xbox Series X. We will talk about this little detail right here after we talk about the specifics of this subscription service. But it launched March 29th and provides easy access to a range of valuable benefits for both new and long-standing players on the latest generation consoles. Being a GTA Plus member gives you recurring monthly $500,000 direct deposit to your Maze Bank, which digital currency, I don't know. This is interesting. If I was playing GTA Online like crazy still, there's a chance I would pick, a subscription up like this. But you get in-game currency. I remember even way back they had a glitch in the game where you could get several $1 million. I think that got fixed pretty quick, but moving on. Plus the opportunity to claim properties in and around Los Santos that unlock gameplay updates you may have missed out on, special vehicle upgrades, member-only discounts, GTA money and RP bonuses, and more each month. So here's the breakdown of benefits. And the first month is March 29th to April 27th. 500,000 we talked about. What is this? Special works upgrade. Here, Auto Shop Located introduces an assortment of gameplay updates. Car Meet membership fees, waived membership fees. Yacht owners can upgrade to Aquarius Super Yacht at no additional cost. So I don't know this. It's interesting. I don't play it right now, so maybe obviously there's some value here to regular GTA Online players. But you're talking $5.99 a month, which is pretty standard these days. I mean, like a realm for Minecraft. We pay $7.99 a month, I think, for Minecraft Realms and Realms Plus. Fortnite is, I think, $11.99 a month if you want to be a part of their crew. So here's the kicker on this, though. You're talking about having to buy the game again. You can't get this if you're playing on previous gen versions of this game. And I was watching, some I've mentioned some creators, talk about this stuff as well that I follow and enjoy listening to. And, it seems like the consensus is it's like, what? How can you not offer this to people that have already supported this game through 2 generations of consoles? Of course, the very end of one and then into all last gen and then now into this gen. You can only get GTA Plus right now if you own a PS5 or Series X. That just seems kind of crazy that you have to upgrade to the new version on the next gen consoles to be able to enjoy this benefit. I mean, if I was a GTA player, regular player, and I was still playing on previous gen, because I mean, as we know, it's still not super easy to get these consoles, and I wouldn't be able to get this, I would be like, what's going on here, guys? I've been playing your game since launch, and I can't get this. One, because either I can't afford or I can't find one of the next gen consoles. So I don't know if maybe I don't think they've added any additional updates. But anyways, it seems kind of absurd that you have to buy the next gen version. So if you're playing GTA, of course, curious if you think this is valuable or not to you, if this is something you would do, or if you can't because of some of these other reasons. So interesting GTA news this week. Let's move on to some games here. So next up, we've got Illphonic here, which is, of course, related. And I actually missed this, so I saw it in my feed. We have an announcement of a new Ghostbusters game here. So it is being developed by Illphonic, and here I did look up, I believe they did Predator. Let's see here. Yeah, Predator Hunting Grounds. I remember that game. I didn't play it. It looked interesting, but I never gave it a chance. I believe I remember talking to somebody in our Destiny community that played Predator, or at least saw some chatter about it. But with that said, Illphonic is an independent video game studio located in Colorado, Washington, and Texas. So let's take a look here just a little bit at this trailer. This was announced on March 22nd. Again, kind of missed it a little bit, probably on our last news update, but definitely worth talking about here in this video. Let's watch this just a little bit, and then we can chat about it.
Yeah, we saved the world a few times. But between that, we provided a needed service to the masses. That's where you come in. We're passing the torch, or better yet, passing the particle thrower, giving you the tools. Now let's see if you have the talent. Keep your head up and your equipment charged. We're a team working together to watch each other's back.
Now, I know you're still a ghost-busting trainee, but there's much more here than meets the eye. Take a look at this. You have the chance to see firsthand what exists on the other side. Catching ghosts is only the half of it.
So you want to play as a ghost? I'd like to see you try to take on my team.
So this, I instantly, what I think of when I see this is Evolve. If you remember that game back, I believe it was 4 players co-op, and they would play against a monster who was, I believe, an actual other player. That game looked amazing. I played it a little bit. It was one of those games that got tons of great feedback, I think, in the beta and such. And then it got released, and people were excited about it, and they played it, and it just seemed like it trickled off. So I don't know if that's that kind of game that seems like it would be fun, and then it ends up, not being ultimately, something you can play for a long time. Obviously, you think of back in the day, like Left 4 Dead. We played Left 4 Dead quite a bit, and that was, you're playing against AI, not an actual other player. But this, this seems like a similar idea. 4 co-op players are playing against a ghost, and it sounds like from what they say there in the trailer, a player will be the ghost. I don't know if that's confirmed, but it just seems like it, obviously, the way they phrased it in that announcement trailer. So it seems neat. I'm a Ghostbusters fan. It's not like my top movie, but it's a classic, and a game themed around that. The thing about it is what this screams to me is Game Pass. It's like, I'll play this if it's on Game Pass. If it's not, I don't know that it's something I'm going to pick up. So that makes me wonder, not just with me, but just overall how well it will do. I hope it does great. It looks cool. It looks fun. So, we'll see what other information we get on this, and what you guys, what do you think? Is this something you'd pick up, or is this, it's turned into, it seems like, is it a Game Pass play, or is it a purchase play? It's kind of one of those things. So wanted to chat about that a little bit. Looks cool. Something different, something interesting. I think we have, we've got just the website pulled up here. So yeah, that's Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed. Let's move on. Next up, we've got, we do have a release this week. Haven't got a chance to check it out yet. It is, and we don't have to watch this whole video, but it is Weird West, which is, I love the way this looks. This is by Devolver Digital, who I believe did Hotline Miami, I want to say. I was looking that up earlier. But the game looks very interesting. It is a Game Pass day one, I believe. So prime example, I will probably check this out just because I have access to that, and we do, to be able to play games that are on there, as you're familiar with. So that's a classic example. Like, I don't know if I would play it otherwise, but I love the way this art style looks.
Where you can tap into something a bit less. Regardless, if you want to survive, you're going to need to experiment. Use the land to your advantage. Bend the West to your will. Or shoot. Become your own force of nature and bring the West to its knees.
So you can see it's just a different take on the West, of course. Got some just different, not necessarily zombie, but like interesting take on enemies and such in Weird West, clearly instead of Wild West. It looks interesting. I'll probably give it a shot. I don't know if we'll throw up a gameplay video of it or not, just to see what we think. With that, if we enjoyed it, obviously maybe we do a series, but I'm not sure. We'll just have to give it a shot, see what we think. But looks fun nonetheless, worth mentioning. I will pull up here. It's getting. I mean, it's not. This is decent, more than decent. On Metacritic, it's setting at 78, 73, 81, Xbox One, PS4, PC, and then you jump over to OpenCritic, and it's getting an average. I mean, about the same. 70s, mid 70s. So strong, according, right here, OpenCritic, and just in general. I mean, when you see 70s and 80s, doesn't seem too shabby. So definitely gonna check it out at least, I think. Let us know if you guys do, what you think, if you enjoy it, something you're gonna play all the way through. If you're gonna play it on Game Pass, or if you're actually gonna purchase it by itself if you don't have Game Pass. Just curious there too. All right, final thing for the news this week. This one's going to be a quick one, and it's an interesting one to say the least. We got to show you these controllers. I don't know if you've seen these controllers, but Xbox announced, so Sonic the Hedgehog 2, as we know, is coming out here soon. The first movie did well. We enjoyed it. Our family enjoyed it. The second one looks like, hopefully it'll be neat as well. I think what we're getting Knuckles in that one. So we're excited about the movie, but I thought this was a joke, and I still am wondering. I obviously at this point don't think it's a joke, but I didn't see this article until April Fool's Day, and I was like, wait a second, this can't, no way. But the article actually came out on Xbox's news section of their website back on March 22nd. These controllers, I don't even understand. I did think at first they were going to be for sale, but they're not. This is actually like a promotional thing. They go on to say down here, fans can enter 2 sweepstakes for a chance to win the exclusive custom Series S, both Sonic Blue and Knuckles Red Xbox controllers. They are calling them Bristly. And they are. You can see the console here. I just cannot. These controllers clearly scream, I won these in a sweepstakes, and they're gonna set on my shelf and probably not be used, and just be cool because there's not a lot of them and I won them. So at least that would be for me. I can't imagine trying to play with these controllers. They are just crazy. I mean, what do you guys think? This is, I don't know. It's just, look at holding those controllers. Like, can you imagine trying to play something even remotely intense or competitive, having all that fur on the controller? Anyways, we don't have to spend a lot of time on this. What do you guys think about these? Did you see this? Curious to get your thoughts if you'd actually use these controllers. Anyways, all right, that pretty much wraps it up for this news this week. If you think we missed anything or something that stood out to you, definitely comment, let us know, or hit us up on Twitter, whatever is easiest for you. Be sure, as always, to check out our YouTube channel here. I'm going to throw that up here. We do also, of course, have Twitter. We've got Discord, Facebook, Instagram, if you want to follow us on any of those places. Jump in the Discord if you'd like. We've got some peeps in there just chatting about tech and games, as we've mentioned. We have been, just to mention again, throwing up a little stream here and there on our YouTube channel. We've been testing it out, but it seems like everything's in place. So most of the time, at least right now, all the time, it's going to just be gameplay. There may be some commentary, but mostly it's probably just going to be gameplay. If you want to come hang out, watch, and chat with us in chat, we'll throw that up just kind of randomly in the evening sometimes. And of course, if you enjoyed this, we appreciate any support. Subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed this content. Very much appreciate it. And we've got some more Elden Ring gameplay on the way. Of course, likely some more Fortnite, and we may sprinkle some other stuff in there. We'd like to jump back on some Minecraft with the kiddos and maybe post some Minecraft content at some point. But with that said, hope you guys enjoyed it, and we appreciate you hanging out, checking it out. And until next time, take care.